Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Ryan from Ryan's Fortress, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Megahit podcast. We are here, episode 7. This is one of the most, probably, or could be one of the more exciting weeks that we've had in the last couple of months, just in terms of what could be announced this week. I guess that's more towards video games, and we'll get into that. But yeah, so we got some fun stuff to talk about. So I'm really excited to dive into this stuff. So yeah, so welcome to episode number 7, and yeah, I don't really have a lot of stuff to talk about here in this introduction. I kind of want to get right into it because I feel like what we're going to be talking about with movies and especially games is probably going to take a little while. So yeah, let's just jump right into some fun stuff that we're talking about. What are we talking about today? So movie segment. This is kind of a topic. I honestly, for the movie segment, I had no idea what to talk about in this episode. I was like completely stumped at ideas of what I would talk about. But my brain came through, as it always sometimes tends to do. And we are going to be talking about upcoming movies. I selected 13 upcoming movies. Some of them were on my most anticipated movies list that I talked about in an episode a couple weeks ago. And then some of them are also just other movies. And these are kind of movies that are ones that I'm interested in to a degree. So either I'm a little interested or I'm very interested. I really want to see them, kind of stuff like that. And specifically those 13 movies, I'm going to go through each one from release date to the soonest to the end of the year. And each one I'm going to say whether or not I want to see them in theaters, or they're movies I can wait to watch on streaming. And for streaming, I'll say either they're movies that I'm just gonna wait till they're on streaming, but I'll once they're on streaming, I'm gonna want to watch them, or it's I'll just watch them whenever. I don't care when they come. It's if they come out in a couple months, maybe 3 or 4 months later, I'll just find it on streaming. You know what I mean? It's that kind of movie. So so that's our movie segment. That'll be pretty fun. And then video game segment is the big one though. So my originally what I said I was going to do here is talk about my bingo board that I made for the almost confirmed Nintendo Direct happening this week. But there's a lot of my bingo board is more so things like release dates. And personally for me, there is definitely some stuff on that board that I am much more knowledgeable in than other things. So, I mean, I'm looking for it now. Oh, here it is. Wait, I thought I had it. Here it is. Yeah, there's stuff on here like I included the Dusk Bloods on here, the new Hyrule Warriors game, Rhythm Heaven, it's kind of stuff like that. And then there's also things on here like Indiana Jones and the new Lego Batman game, where it's they're either not things I know a lot about. I don't really know a lot about them, or or they're not you don't really need to talk too much about Indiana Jones and the Great Circles, when that is coming to Switch 2. I feel like that's not something that I need to spend a lot of time on. So it's basically I just picked 10 picks on my board, sort of 10, but I'll get into that. I picked 10 things on my board, and I will be talking about those. I think it's more like 12 things really, because my bingo board, I have a section that has 3 GameCube games, and they each take up a different box. But I'm including them as just one thing in here, so technically it's 12, but whatever. If you do want to see the full bingo board, I did tweet it. I tweeted it when September 3rd, so about a week ago. So yeah, if you want to check it out, it is there. But yeah, I'm only gonna be talking about 10 10 of like the ones I'm most knowledgeable in when it comes to the series or the games or whatever, that I know things about. And they're also, and some of them are like a new game, you know what I mean? Which is much more, there's much more to talk about that than just we're getting a release date for this. So that is going to be our podcast for today. So let's get into some news. We really don't have a lot of news to talk about here. There's not a ton of stuff I had down, but I can spend a little bit of time with each of these. So first of all, starting off with some, I didn't include any movie news. I didn't include any movie news at all. Did I? Yeah, I didn't include any movie news. I was thinking something was popping in my head, but I talked about it last week. So movie news, so game news. Jumping right into that. Switchforce claims that 3 games with a 7 in their title will be revealed in the next Nintendo Direct, and they also confirmed that no one has gotten the combination of games right yet. So this is something kind of interesting. If you didn't see, Switchforce on Twitter, they posted that there's going to be 3 games in this upcoming Direct where there'll be a 7 in the title. They didn't say what they were, though. They only said that, leaving everyone else to speculate. And then I think either today or yesterday, or at least of filming this, I think maybe either Saturday or Sunday, they confirmed that no one has gotten the 3 games right yet. So it doesn't mean that people haven't gotten 1 or 2 of the games right yet, as far as I've seen. It doesn't look like that's the case. It just looks like no one's gotten the 3 games together yet. And then another thing, I didn't include it on this headline, but another thing is that they confirmed that Ace Attorney 7 is not one of these one of the games. So we're not gonna. So apparently, according to Switchforce, we are not getting Ace Attorney 7 here. So yeah, that's interesting. I've seen a lot of wacky predictions here. One of the ones I saw was like Mario Kart 7 Deluxe, which would be, honestly would be the most Nintendo thing to do, but I think it's a little bit too weird and out of the box. So that's that. Another big thing. This was crazy to see. The Nintendo eShop, PlayStation Store, Steam, and many other online stores crashed due to the Hollow Knight Silksong launch of over 500,000 players. 500,000 players at launch, which is insane. This game, there was going to be so much hype after the years of, people waiting for it. And eShop crashed. The Actually, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if they say PSS or just PlayStation Store. I don't know. I know PlayStation Network, people call it PSN. I don't know. I'm just going to say PlayStation Store. Steam crashed. I think the Xbox Store crashed. And yeah, I think like every big video game online store crashed. So yeah, I'll be talking a little bit more about Hollow Knight later. But yeah, so that's a pretty big thing as well. It is pretty cool for this game that, really, it's an indie game that was able to crash all of these stores because everyone wanted to play it, which is a pretty cool achievement. All right, here's the 2 big ones. I'm actually going to switch the order on these because I feel like I'm going to be talking about one more than the other. Talking sports. We'll be talking a little bit more about these sports stuff later. I forgot to mention sports segment. I forgot to mention that next to the stuff at the beginning. Sports segment, we're just talking about Eagles and Phillies past week, kind of stuff like that. So it's kind of like Phillies talk, but I'm throwing Eagles stuff in there too. But anyway, for the news. So starting off with the Eagles, Jalen Carter ejected from Thursday night's opening game after spitting at Dak Prescott after the initial kickoff. Crazy. That's just a crazy way to start a game. Literally, the mere seconds into the game, and he's gone. You know what I mean? It's just like it was insane. And it's just so funny watching because it's like, wait, what did he do? Like, why is he getting ejected? And then you see the video and you clearly see him spit on Dak. So that was a interesting way to start the game, although I don't think a lot of diehard Eagles fans were happy about that just because of, how important he is to that defense and how stupid that was. And our defense definitely didn't look too sharp throughout the game. Honestly, no part of our team looked too sharp throughout the game. There's only a couple little things. But they got the W, but we'll talk more about that later. And then here's the big thing. This has been everywhere. You've probably heard it in so many different ways all over the place. That an angry Phillies fan snatched a home run ball from a kid during Game 1 of the Phillies-Marlins in Miami. The kid then got a gift package from the Marlins and a signed bat from Harrison Bader. And the woman went viral and ended up getting fired from her job. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. So if you somehow did not see, in Miami, kid, in the outfield, gets a ball. His dad gets the ball, gives it to him. It's I think it was the kid's birthday or something. It was a couple days before. I don't know. The dad gets the ball. Clearly didn't steal it from anyone, but then this woman just runs up to him, demands the ball from him, and he gives it up. It's and I feel like there's a lot of people saying he just, seemed weak, you know what I mean? Just giving up the ball, but it's look, I think in that situation, it's yes, it's a home run ball, and there is a lot of stuff attached to that in terms of not even just money, just having it is amazing. But I feel in that case, it's just, she's just, she's just gonna just keep yelling at you. You know what I mean? You don't want to, you don't want that to make you start yelling. I'm kind of describing this really bad, but it's you don't want that to ruin the whole thing, your whole game. You don't want to start, throwing back and then fighting starts and then blah, blah, blah. And then you both get kicked out of the game. You don't want that. So it's it's just a ball. You know what I mean? So I think I don't think the dad did anything there was really nothing else he could do unless he, there was nothing else he could do that would not result in him getting thrown out. Which stinks. But thankfully the kid did end up getting a bunch of stuff. The woman got to keep the ball, although she also got to keep probably forever internet fame as well as unemployment apparently. And then the kid got it was a signed bat from Harrison Bader, and he also got some gift package from the Marlins. So pretty cool. Like I tweeted, class act from Miami. It was really cool stuff. So yeah, just such a funny situation there. That woman is now everywhere. It's crazy if you haven't seen it, even if you're not following anything sports related. So yeah, it's just crazy. Okay. Yeah. So that is, that's our news. So let's, switch gears and head into our very exciting movie segment. All right. So, again, with the movie segment, I have a list of movies, and I'm basically going to say whether I want to see them in theaters or whether they're a movie that I can wait to see. It's kind of similar if you've seen people do it, where it's buy or rent upcoming movies, something like that. It's kind of similar to that. But this is more specific in terms of, and it's kind of there's plenty of movies that aren't good in theaters because people just don't care to see them in theaters. So these are kind of movies do I want to see them in theaters, or do I want to see them in, or can I wait to see them at home? You know what I mean? Because they're all movies I'm interested in. They're all movies that I would like to see, even if to different degrees. They're movies I would kind of like to see. It's just whether, how I want to watch them. So that's that. Recent movies that I saw. So I haven't been able to watch too much, just because, summer's over, so I don't really have a lot of time now. It's really just weekends, but I did see some cool stuff. Um, so yesterday I saw The Roses in theaters. It's based on the War of the Roses. There's like a book of it originally, and then a movie with I think like Michael Douglas from probably 30 years ago or whatever. And now this one is Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, as well as a slew of other hilarious actors and actresses. So, what did I think of the movie? So I don't know anything about the original story. First time I saw this trailer, I just thought it looked like a fun like comedy kind of movie with especially with the cast. I had no knowledge that there was like a story before it. And as far as I've seen online, this is not like the specific story. At least what I've seen, it seems like it's the same like concept. It's almost like I was given the example before to some other people about it, where it was almost like something like the Gift of the Magi, where it's a story that has been done in a couple different ways, where it's different characters, different settings, different all the stuff, but it's the same idea. Like in every version of it, the same kind of thing happens, where it's like, the two characters and they want to get each other something for Christmas or whatever, and they end up trading what they love most to get it. Only thing is that, that kind of that's what the gifts ended up being, things for the things that they loved, kind of something like that, or at least as far as I've seen. So as far as I've seen, it's kind of like that, where it's the same idea, it's the same kind of story. It's just the specific events of and the specific events of who these characters are and how everything comes together is different. But for me, it's just a fun comedy movie. I mean, it is really just fun, and it is weird though, that it's like such a weird tone shift in the third act, because it goes from like the first act is just like it's like fun. It's kind of like a rom-com-y kind of thing, and then the second act is when stuff kind of starts to like boil a little bit, when it comes to like them starting to get mad at each other and all this stuff happening with their kids and whatever. And then the third act is just crazy. They're trying to kill each other, and it's like, what in the world is this movie turning into? But it's super fun. Such a fun movie. I did notice something weird though about the movie. Other than that, something else that was weird. The movie, I forget. It's like I think it's only like 90 minutes, hour and 45 minutes. That's how long it is. It feels much longer than that. It feels like it's not, and it's not even that. It just feels like it's not like it's boring and it's like, oh my god, is this ever gonna end? It just felt like, wow, like it's still going. You know what I mean? There's more. There's still more. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was kind of weird with that, because it just felt like it wasn't even an overlong runtime. It just felt weird. It just felt long, which is weird because it was still entertaining. Like, it's not like I didn't like the movie and wanted it to be over. Like, I did enjoy the movie, so I don't know. But ultimately, I still enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. There's, of course, story elements I thought were like a little iffy, but I think it is very funny. There's a lot of funny jokes here. The dialogue is really funny, and of course, its cast is hilarious. So yeah, it's one like, I mean, kind of leading into our segment, leading into our topic for the segment. It's one that I feel like at this point you can wait for it to come on streaming. You know what I mean? It's not really a movie you have to see in theaters, but it is fun. I also saw the first episode of Wednesday season 2, which is interesting. I did enjoy the first season of Wednesday. I thought it was really, really cool. It was kind of like a similar idea to like Wicked, but it had that, it's with Wednesday, and it has this unique like Harry Potter mixed with Tim Burton kind of charm, and So it was a pretty fun series, a lot of cool stuff to it. It was essentially Harry Potter and Stranger Things meet Tim Burton, and that's all mashed together. So yeah, pretty cool. And then season 2, episode 1, not too bad. I think it's still very early, but I do think it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. There's some cool stuff there. So yeah, so I'm excited to see more. And then yeah, that's it. So that's what I've seen in the past week. Stuff I need to see. When it comes to shows, I really don't watch a lot of shows. At least on my own. But like a few months ago, I watched the first season of Invincible because this is just one that just popped in my mind. And I watched the first season and I really enjoyed it, but I just never got around to watching the rest of it. So I need to watch that. So maybe I'll start that again. Okay, so that's what I've been watching. Now let's get into our wonderful topic we have to talk about today, which is 13 movies, whether or not I'm going to see them in streaming. So I guess I don't really have to reiterate this much. I've just kind of discussed it a couple of times, but I'm just going to go through movies, going from ones that are coming out the soonest to ones that are coming out towards the end of the year. So that's how this is going to run. So let's get going. First off, we have a movie that actually comes out this week, The Long Walk. This is one I've kind of just gotten interest in, especially with the incredibly positive reviews that it's been getting. This looks really cool. It just looked like a cool idea in general, but now it's getting even like great reviews. So this is one that just looks super cool. It's Stephen King. It looks like it's one of those movies that it's like, how do you expand that into a full length film? You know what I mean? But it's doing it. And apparently it's done it very well. So Long Walk comes out on Friday, and this is one I do think I want to see in theaters. But we'll see. Like, it's not one that I need to see immediately, but it's one that I would like to see it in at least just like normal theater. Actually, I'm going to add another thing to this. I have movies I want to see in theaters, movies I want to wait till streaming, but I want to see them immediately when they come on streaming, and then movies I'll watch them whenever they come on streaming. I don't have to see it immediately when they come to streaming. I can wait. I'm going to add a fourth one, which is I want to see it immediately or I want to see them in the better formats like IMAX, Dolby, something like that. So Long Walk, I can see that in a normal format, and I don't need to see that immediately. So that's what I'm going to put there. Next to that, we have Him. This is a movie that, what was weird about seeing this trailer for the first time was that it was like, it looked like a cool movie where it's like, oh, this is a cool like sports movie about what it's like to be a football player. And then you see that from Jordan Peele, and it's like, oh no, what the heck is this? So yeah, this should be interesting. But I mean, it doesn't look. I mean, honestly, just to me, I feel like it just looks weird. I don't really have a lot of interest in it when it comes to just like. It's not one I'm like super excited for, but it's one that I wouldn't mind watching. When it comes to Jordan Peele, I haven't seen I really haven't seen like any of his movies, just watching it, looking at this now. I did see Nope though. And I love Nope. I thought that movie was awesome. But I have not seen Get Out, and I have not seen Us. So, look how he did Monkey Man too. Yeah, I did not see that either. So maybe I should watch those too. But Him, for me, I'm going to put it at the bottom tier. It's one that I don't care to see in theaters, and I don't care to see it immediately when it comes on streaming. That's one if I watch it, I'll watch it just whenever. I don't really care. Next up, One Battle After Another. This is one I would like to see in theaters, and it's another one I don't really need to see in a higher format. But this does look really fun. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. It is Leonardo DiCaprio as the in the lead role, and I think this is it just looks fun. It looks like a fun action movie. It looks like it has some really cool stuff. I have not. I'm looking at it right now. I haven't seen anything that Paul Thomas Anderson has done, but a lot of these are movies I have heard of and that have gotten great reviews. So yeah. So that should be this should be an interesting movie, and it just looks like it's gonna be fun, even if it's not like super good. Like hopefully it'll at least be fun. And Leonardo DiCaprio is always fun. So I would like to see that in theaters, but I don't need to see it immediately, and I don't need to see it in the best format. Smashing Machine also comes out in a I guess a few weeks, something like that. This one looks cool. Watching the trailer for the first time for this one was cool too, because I kept looking at Adam and I was like, is this Dwayne Johnson? Like, it kind of looks like him. It's interesting. And then it's like, oh wait, it is Dwayne Johnson. It's just a lot of makeup. This one looks really cool though. It's one that's been on my radar, but I haven't really like paid enough, like a lot of attention to it. So I don't know. We'll see. I think this one for me, it kind of depends on the reviews. I'm interested in this one, but only not a ton. So for this one, for right now, I'm gonna say I can wait for it to come on streaming, but this might be one I want to look out for when it does come to streaming, because it does look like it'll be a cool movie. So, but again, it does depend on the reviews, I think. Next up, coming in October on the 10th, Tron Ares. This one I am putting at the top tier because I already have tickets to see it in IMAX. I'm actually seeing this. Got really good tickets for it. The Wednesday night showing, like the really early the early access showings. I'm seeing it the 8th at the IMAX that is like 45 minutes away from my house. That is like an actual IMAX 70 millimeter, the real deal IMAX theater. So I already have tickets for that, so it's kind of like weird to put it there, but this is one that I just want to see because it looks cool, and Tron is cool. So this one should be cool, even if it's not like the best movie. It should be pretty cool. So that is so far that's the only one that's at the top here of movies I want to see in big format. Roofman, I definitely want to see this in theaters. This isn't one I need to see in a big format, but this one does look super fun. Channing Tatum, escaped criminal, hiding out in a Toys R Us in like the 80s or 90s. It looks like so much fun. Peter Dinklage is in it. Kristen Dunst. It looks like it's going to be such a fun movie. I'm super excited for this one. So that one comes out. I think that comes out October 10th as well. So that's one I'm probably not going to see immediately just because of Tron Ares. But it is one that I would like to see as soon as possible. But Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere is coming out in, I think that comes out like later in October. That one looks really good. It looks really good. I just saw the trailer for the first time yesterday, like the main trailer, and it does look really good. I'm blanking on his name right now, but okay, I'm searching up because I'm blanking, but I do not know him from anything. I know him from The Bear, but I've never seen The Bear. Okay, what's his name? Jeremy Allen White. That's who it is. Yeah, I don't know him from anything. I don't know him from any movies or shows. I only have heard of him in The Bear, and I never saw The Bear. So, but I am excited for this. I have said this before. I always love watching movies that are based on real like topics and stuff. I think movies like that are awesome for just a number of reasons. Like, I don't know, just some examples of movies I love. The Social Network, Air from 2022. They're just such fun movies part of it is because that they are real stories, and it is pretty cool watching those kind of dramas. And last year, and Complete Unknown last year, I loved that movie. I thought that was my favorite movie of the year last year. Phenomenal movie, and an incredible lead performance from Timothy Chalamet. So hopefully this one will do that as well. I feel like there's been a lot of these kind of movies that are like music related in the past few years. So it is starting to feel a little bit like fatigued almost. But I am excited to see this one. I think this will be a pretty cool one. And this is one I can see in theaters. I think this will be super cool in theaters. It's not really one I'm like clamoring to see. So I'll put that at that like second tier. Like I want to see it in theaters. I don't need to see it in a high format though. The Running Man, kind of in the same boat, but this one is one I've been excited for. I love Glenn Powell. I think he's awesome, and the movie is, I'm blanking on the name again. It's the guy who did a bunch of other movies, and oh no. Well, first of all, the movie, I've never seen the original with, I think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Edgar Wright. I just thought of it. I didn't even have to search it up. Edgar Wright is doing it, and he's done a ton of great stuff, including Baby Driver. I love that movie. I love Baby Driver, and I'm pretty sure he also did. I think he also did he did the Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz movies, and he's done some other big movies too. But Shaun of the Dead, Baby Driver, I love both of those movies. So I'm excited to see what he brings to this. Like I said, I've never seen the original Running Man. I don't really know too much about the story other than this trailer. So, but yeah, I think it looks cool. Glenn Powell, I think, is becoming like the next big action star. So anything with him in it, I'm good. I'm game. But so yeah, so that one I can see in theaters. I don't think I need to see it in a high format. It's not like that kind of movie. I'm gonna put it in the middle though. I'll put it in the middle of those two. Because we'll kind of see, you know what I mean? Comes out in a couple months, we'll see. Wicked for Good. This is probably a movie that's kind of out of my control of when I see it. I will probably be seeing it that opening weekend because of everyone I know probably is going to want to see it opening weekend in IMAX or Dolby or something. But I'm not saying I have a problem with that because I love the first movie. But that's just, yeah. But Wicked for Good is coming out on Thanksgiving, or I think it's actually the week before Thanksgiving. But yeah, that movie just looks so good. The first one was so good. I saw the first one in IMAX and it was amazing. So yeah, this is definitely one. Even if I wasn't, even if I was like not, with people that wanted to see it, I probably would be seeing it anyway. So yeah, Wicked for Good, I will be seeing probably on opening weekend in IMAX. But yeah, so it's another one. Zootopia 2 is coming out in November as well. This isn't really one I need to see in a high format, but this is one I am excited for, and I probably will be seeing this opening weekend as well. I'm a little nervous for this movie, but I do love the first movie, so hopefully this one's at least a bit of fun. But yeah, I am excited for this one. I love the first movie, so this one I think is going to be pretty good too. To whatever degree that is, we'll see. But I am excited to see it, and it is one I'll probably be seeing opening weekend. So yeah, that's that one. All right, a couple more. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is coming out in December. The first film I thought was super stupid but super fun. But I think Five Nights at Freddy's 2 looks super cool too, and it's cool that it has like the same characters as the original, but it also has new characters. I think it just looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, and like I said, I think the first film was super duper fun, and I do really like the people in it too. Josh Hutcherson is great in the original one. This one also has a slew of new characters, including McKenna Grace is going to be in this one. So this one should be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited. So I think this is one. This is also kind of in the middle where it's like I don't need to see it opening weekend, but I do want to see it. So it's not like I'm just gonna see whenever. Last two. Avatar Fire and Ash comes out in December as well. This is one I definitely am going to probably want to see opening weekend, just because I will want to. I feel like if I'm seeing this in theaters, I'm gonna want to see it in Dolby or IMAX. Yeah, I mean that's just how it is. I saw the Way of Water in Dolby 3D a couple years ago, and that was amazing. Um, I think that's really why I want to see this, because Way of Water in Dolby 3D was just a wow experience. Basically, it was such an outstanding visual treat. Basically, it had so much great stuff in it. But I think in terms of the movie itself, that's never really been. It's like the visuals are great, sure, but that's kind of it. You know what I mean? Um, Without the visuals, they're just like kind of like B tier action movies, not really much of a story, and they're so long. I think the first one is definitely better. I think because it has the unique idea that the second one kind of leaves, where it's now just the alien characters basically. Um, but yeah, the second one, it's like 3 hours long. It's so long, and the third one's probably super long too. So so it's like one I'm definitely gonna want to see early, because I will want to see it in IMAX or Dolby, but it's not what I'm expecting a lot from, other than its visuals. And I feel like too, we've gotten two great two movies with great visuals. How much more can you do? I mean, we got so many Avatar movies. It's like, I mean, we're getting to a point. We're gonna get to a point where it's not going to be that amazing anymore, and it's not going to make $1 billion at the box office. So, and finally, we have the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. I love SpongeBob. I have always loved SpongeBob, and I do love SpongeBob movies. I basically love the three SpongeBob movies that have come out in the past like 20 years. The original is a classic. I actually really like the 2015 one. Especially like other than the live action stuff, I think it's a really fun movie with a lot of cool stuff in it. And then the new one I only saw once, but I think that one was pretty. I remember that one being pretty cool. It had some funny stuff, and it was pretty cool. So I haven't seen the other ones. There's like a Sandy Cheeks one on Netflix. There was a what is it? A Plankton one. I think it was this year actually. There was a Plankton one. So I haven't seen those, but hopefully this one's separate. Hopefully this one is better. Yeah, we'll see. I think this one will kind of be like the Sponge on the Run. I think it'll be like fun, but it's not going to be anything crazy, especially with it being the fourth SpongeBob movie, or really, I guess, sixth SpongeBob movie. There's not going to be a lot of cool new stuff here, but yeah, I'm excited to see it. I'll probably be seeing it in theaters, so yeah. And yeah, that is it for the movie segment. That's all 13 movies, and so yeah, that's that. All right, so that was a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's shift gears again. Let's head into the video game stuff. And this is it. This is the video game segment. This is the big ambitious segment of the pod, probably the most ambitious segment of any podcast I've put out yet. So here's our video game segment. So like I said, I was gonna talk about my my entire bingo board, but I decided against that because there's just some stuff there that I feel like doesn't really need to be talked about, or it's stuff that I can't really talk about because I don't know a ton about it. I don't know enough to actually, talk about it in any interesting way, I guess. Okay, now my computer is being very slow. So I will mention, what in the world is my computer doing right now? Oh boy. So basically, my bingo board. Okay, now we're good. Sorry, my bingo board is on my Twitter if you want to see the whole thing. But otherwise, I will say what's on it. So So what's on my bingo board, just in order, is Mario Galaxy 2 HD, Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 Edition, Mario Baseball, new 3D Mario and new 2D Mario, Metro Prime 4 Beyond release in 2026, Hyrule Warriors release in March of 2026, the announcement of Kirby Air Riders DLC, Splatoon Raiders coming out in December of this year, a date for the Duskbloods, Tomodachi Life coming out in May of next year, Rhythm Heaven Groove coming out in June of next year, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 coming out, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes coming out, Professor Layton coming out in summer of next year, Luigi's Mansion 4, Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, Luigi's Mansion, Animal Crossing, and Mario Kart Double Dash being added to GameCube for NSO, Mario Kart World DLC, new Animal Crossing game, a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Special Edition Switch 2, Indiana Jones releasing for the Switch 2 in April, and the new Lego Batman just being shown for the Switch 2. So that's the whole bingo board, but I'm only going to be talking about 10 of those things. Whenever the Direct happens this week, I will talk a little bit more in depth about what's on this list or what's on this bingo board for some of the other ones that I won't be talking about here. I'll be talking about them in my reaction videos. So if you want to hear some information on some of that, I'll talk about it there. But for now, I picked what I would say are probably the 10 biggest things on there. All right, so here we go. Here, well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. So what have I been playing? I haven't really been playing a lot of stuff, to be honest. Like I said last week, I haven't been playing too many video games and stuff. I've kind of been all over the place, just with like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, just randomly playing them. Although today I did start Hollow Knight. I would really like to play that game. I didn't play a lot of it. I played maybe 10 minutes of it. I really did not play for too long. But I played a little bit. I do think the controls are nice, and I do think it has some neat stuff in there. But again, I only played like 10 minutes. I can't really say that I've played much of it or really talk about it yet. So hopefully I'll be talking about that more next week, though. So, but yeah, so that's kind of the only real thing I'm playing. But anyway, let's get into basically my 10 main predictions for the Direct happening this week, this month, whatever. Starting off, so the whole top row of my bingo board is all stuff I think would be revealed in Part 2 Mario's 40th anniversary, whether that's in its own Direct or in a segment of the next main Direct. This is all the Mario stuff. That's all the Mario stuff I'm expecting to see. So the two I have on here, the first one is it's one of two things. Either Super Mario Galaxy 2, a remake of Mario Galaxy 2, or a Mario, this is kind of one I had heard about this past week, a Mario 3D All-Stars Switch 2 edition with Mario Galaxy 2 added in. So I will say that I feel like the Mario Galaxy 2 HD alone, I mean, Nintendo has done it before, like with Luigi's Mansion 2. They priced that at $60, even though it was a remake for a game that was over 10 years old. Mario Galaxy 2 at this point is like 15 years old. So it is a Wii game. It's definitely bigger than like a 3DS game like Luigi's Mansion 2. But it is a Wii game. So I don't know if it could, especially since Mario Galaxy was priced at $60 with two other games. I don't know if they could put Super Mario Galaxy 2 out there for $60. I think that would cause a lot of backlash. And I do honestly think it would be I don't know if I'd say a smarter move, but I do think people would be more excited if they said that they were bringing back Mario 3D All-Stars. And I think that would be a great game for them to make a Switch 2 edition for, because that game really at this point doesn't exist anymore. It came out for just a few months on the eShop, and after about a year, I guess a year about, it was gone just everywhere. You couldn't get it anymore. So So it does kind of stink, and I think it would be cool for Nintendo to bring that back, possibly with some other improvements, but also possibly with Mario Galaxy 2 included. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be a neat thing for them to do. And I do predict in either a Mario Galaxy 2 remake or that it's. I feel like one way or another we're gonna get something like that. I do predict that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I really, really want to be able to play Mario Galaxy 2 on my Switch. I think that'd be awesome. And then the other one, kind of one that is also I also saw being popped up. People were talking about this too, and I do think it's one that sounds plausible, but it's also more of a hope, which is Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 edition with a new game style being for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So, people have also been talking about a Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition. I don't really know. I think Mario Wonder, it would be cool because I played that for a little bit. I 100%ed it. I beat it. I whatever. But then I just haven't really played it since. There hasn't really been anything that has brought me back to the game. So I do think it would be cool to have this just to bring it back here. Although I do think if my 2D Mario game prediction is correct, something tells me I don't know if we would also get a Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition because I think they'd want to put all the focus on the new game, of course. So, but it's not like out of the cards. Mario Maker 2 Switch 2 edition I feel like is interesting because honestly for me, as much as I love Mario Maker 2, it does have a lot of problems, and I do think it would be I would just rather see a new Mario Maker. Like I'd rather see Mario Maker 3 in the next like year or two. So but yeah, it is I think it's plausible. It doesn't sound too crazy to think of Mario Maker 2 coming back, and a Wonder Switch or a Wonder game style doesn't sound like the most like unrealistic thing, but at the same time it is kind of like a, it is kind of sort of in the card, sort of not. And then I do have 3D Mario and 2D Mario. Those are some more of my bigger predictions, but I kind of talked about them in trying to think, last episode or the episode before. One of the last two episodes I talked about them, so I won't be talking about those here. All right, moving on from Mario stuff. I think we're gonna get an announcement that we are getting DLC for Kirby Air Riders. I mean, the game is, I feel like, definitely going to be shown in the Direct, and I think they're going to announce that there will be DLC. Whether or not they actually say what it is, it depends. It could be like a tease. I don't really know. But they kind of did it with Smash. They had a lot of announcements, DLC related, before the game came out. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. So, but I do think we could see something related to DLC. I don't know if it would be like something smaller, like new characters or something, or if it would be bigger, like a whole, like, I don't know. Maybe we could see like the Octo expansion that Splatoon 2 got, something big like that. That'd be pretty cool too. Next up, we have Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remakes. I personally think that, and I actually have this on my board as well, which is that I do think that Metroid Prime 4 is going to get delayed until 2026. That was weird. I do think we're going to get Metroid Prime 4 next year. I think it is going to get delayed. But so I think in the meantime, I do think it would be cool if we got Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remade for Switch. Did the same with the first game. I think it would be cool to get those games as well. And I do think I think you could put them just separately. That is what they did with the Pikmin games. Pikmin 1 and 2 were, I don't remember if they, I'm trying to look, were they separate or, yeah, so, okay, so it was a bundle. So you could buy a bundle, I think it was digital only, No, it was not digital only. It was together. But Pikmin 1 and 2 were both bundled together around when Pikmin 4 came out and priced together at $50. I think we could see something like that for with Metroid. I do think we could see something like that. And I do think it would be pretty cool to see that, especially with how well received Metroid Prime Remastered was. I do think it would be cool to do it again and just to give more people a chance to play those games leading up to Metroid Prime 4, just build that hype even more. So yeah, so that's the Metroid run. I think it would be really cool too. I've never played those games, and I do think it would be cool to see them on Switch too. Especially since I am excited. I really enjoyed Metroid Prime, the remaster. I really enjoyed that game. So yeah, I think it'd be cool to see it. See them come to Switch. I think that'd be a pretty cool remake. Okay, so this is probably one of my wild predictions, but I really, really want to see this. Luigi's Mansion 4. I don't think we're gonna see it, but it's I labeled it as a hope on my bingo board, but I would be very happy to be wrong. I would definitely be happy to be wrong. I think I love Luigi's Mansion 3 so much. I play it every single year at Halloween. I play that game, and I did enjoy Luigi's Mansion 2. I didn't play a lot of it, but I did enjoy the little bit I've had. And I really want to play Luigi's Mansion. I really want them to come to GameCube, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I really want to see Luigi's Mansion 4. I think that'd be awesome. I don't know if it would be announced now. I feel like that is one that might be announced later down the line, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so next to Luigi's Mansion 4. And by the way, with Luigi's Mansion 4, the direction I'll take, I do think it will still stick a little close to 2 and 3 compared to 1, but hopefully it does bring back some things that made the first game great. But I don't know. We'll see. It would be cool if we had like even more exploration in these games, because 2 and 3 are still pretty linear experiences, even 3. And I know that 1, it is, but in a different way. It's not like you have levels that you have to go through like in 2 and 3. So I do think it would be cool to have a little bit more exploration, a little bit more free roam kind of gameplay, or open world gameplay, I guess, would be pretty cool. Next up, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, another Switch 2 Edition game that I predict. And I think it would be cool for Smash Ultimate, because I feel like with Kirby Air Riders, I don't know when we're getting our next Smash game, and I do think it would be cool just to bring it back. It's been 7 years since that game came out, which of course was the last Smash game, and it's been 4 years since we last got DLC for it. I think it was 4. Yeah, it was 4. 4 years ago was the last time we got DLC for it. So I think it would be cool for them to just bring it back, even if it's just like the $70 kind of one where it's not like there's anything new. It's just updated graphics, stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially since I do think that is still a popular game in some aspects. So. And of course, if we get a Smash game in a few years, it would just make it a little bit more relevant as a game that just came out a few years ago rather than like 10 years ago. So I think that would be a smart move. Right, and then GameCube. So I have each of these games in their own box. I have a GameCube section of my bingo board, but I'm just going to include them all in one. So the first game is Luigi's Mansion. Like I said, I really want this to come to GameCube for NSO, and I do think it would be a perfect game, especially around this time of like fall, Halloween kind of time. I think it would be a really cool game to bring, and I think people really want to play that game again. So I think that'd be neat. I think they would hit a home run by bringing that to the what's it called? NSO. That's what it is. So I think that'd be pretty cool, and I really want to play it. Animal Crossing, I think, as well. Kind of similar to Smash, regain people's interest in that, since it's been a few years since the last Animal Crossing came out, and a couple years since the last DLC came out. I think that's actually think it's actually about the same there. It's been 5 years since Animal Crossing and 3 years since the last bit of DLC. Both games ended in 2021. Smash and Animal Crossing both ended in 2021, which is interesting. So yeah, it'd be cool to just regain interest, bring that back, especially if we do get a new Animal Crossing game. We, make it a little bit more relevant. And then, and I do not think that we are really getting an Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch 2 edition. I don't think it's out of the cards, but I don't really predict that, and I think it would make more sense to bring Animal Crossing to the GameCube NSO. And then the final game is Mario Kart Double Dash. Mario Kart, I think, is a lot more relevant now with Mario Kart World. So I do think it would be pretty cool to see them bring Mario Kart Double Dash to GameCube. Another Mario Kart game it's never been re-released too. I feel like Mario Kart games don't typically get re-released. So I do think it'd be cool to see it appear on the Switch. So yeah, if you if you enjoyed Mario Kart World, here's an older Mario Kart game, have fun, kind of thing. So yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Mario Kart World DLC, I talked about this a bit in my last podcast or before, I forget. But I talked about my whole idea for it. And I do think at least in some aspect, in some degree, we will be getting an announcement that there is some updates or some form of DLC coming to this game. Whether or not it's a huge DLC expansion like I was predicting before is, we'll see. But I do think we're at least going to get some information of any kind of updates or extra content being added to the game, whether that's new characters or a whole expansion. We'll see. But I do think we'll get something. New Animal Crossing game. I was saying it would be cool for them to regain interest with Animal Crossing coming to GameCube. And I do think it would be cool for them to announce a new Animal Crossing game here. I think Animal Crossing games technically tend to come a little bit later in their console's life cycle, so I do think it would be cool to see them not really start, but I guess much closer to the start of the Switch 2. It'd be cool to see an Animal Crossing come just the next year. I think that'd be pretty neat, and especially with how popular New Horizons was. It's how can you not? You know what I mean? I feel like that game just made Animal Crossing so much more well-known and popular. So I do think it would be fun to see. It would be pretty cool. It would be pretty neat. So what it is, I don't really know. If it's going to be similar to New Horizons, or if it's going to be the older games where you're just living in a town and not creating it. We'll see. But I do think we could get a new Animal Crossing game. It is a little bit more of a hope, but I do think it's not super unrealistic. And then the final prediction I will mention for this segment is Metroid Prime 4 Switch 2 edition of Metroid Prime 4. And by Switch 2 edition, I mean not just a bundle like with Mario Kart World and Pokemon Legends E-A. I am talking about an actual special Switch 2 designed with Metroid designs. We had a lot of those with the original Switch, a lot of special edition game or special edition Switches that had designs relating to games that they were bundled with. So I know we had one with Smash, Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda. I think it would be cool to for Metroid Prime 4 to have one. I think that you could do a lot of cool stuff with Metroid. So yeah, maybe even some new Pro Controller designs. That'd be pretty cool. We don't have any new official ones yet, I don't think. So I think it would be pretty cool there. And yeah, so those are my 10 biggest predictions for the September Direct. Like I said, a lot of these are hopes, and a lot of these are actual predictions. It's kind of split 50-50 on what's what. But yeah, I think all of these have potential to show up in the next Direct. So next Direct, whenever it's going to be, I'll be recording it. I think I mentioned in the last podcast, I'm finally using OBS now. I finally learned how to use it. I finally learned OBS Discord. So, and I would really, and I do think it's going to work pretty well. It's basically what I'm saying. And I do also know people who, might want to watch them too. So it might not just be me in this next video. You might see some other people pop up, some friends of mine, all react together. So, but we'll see what happens with that. We'll see. Whenever the direct is, I think what I want to do is a full reaction of it, the entire video, as well as like 10, 20 minutes before the direct starts, me talking about some stuff, me talking about the bingo board and other stuff like that, before the actual reaction. So I do really want to do that, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, whenever that is, I don't know if we're going to be doing it live. It just depends on when it is. So yeah, so that's that. And then, so that's going to be the next direct whenever that is. So yeah, that is going to do it for our video game segment. So yeah, really for me for the next direct, I just want to see Mario Galaxy 2, Luigi's Mansion 4, and that Mario Kart DLC expansion. Oh yeah, and Luigi's Mansion for GameCube as well. I really want to see that. If we don't see Luigi's Mansion 4, that's fine. I just want Luigi's Mansion on GameCube. That's like my, please give it to me. You know what I mean? I was also considering putting Paper Mario All-Stars on here, but we're not getting that. Like, that's just way out of the cards. So, yeah, whatever. All right, so moving on to our last segment of the day. It is our sports segment, and so this is a Phillies talk, but we're also going to be talking about I'm going to throw in the Eagles there too, because we got some Eagles stuff going on as well. So it's been a week for Philly sports. It's been quite a week, starting with the Phillies. They started against the Brewers. That was on Monday. A crazy game against the Brewers on Monday, by the way, on Labor Day. Wild game. Didn't look like they had any chance to win it until their offense finally was like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. And then all this kind of crazy stuff happened and blah, 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 blah. I will say with that game, I will say that when it comes to the JT thing, it's like, did he swing? Did he not swing? It's up for debate, but it's like that swing is not the reason that the Brewers lost the game. The reason the Brewers lost the game is because they let us score a bunch of runs. And, if they were really, they shouldn't have let us score them, like, get to that point at all. You know what I mean? But they kind of fell apart. So yeah. That's kind of what I think in that case. But that's another thing. It's up for debate, however you want to look at it. And then they ended up winning the series, which was huge. Not bad on the offensive front in many cases, and I think they definitely have been struggling with runners in scoring position, but they have been able to pull out some wins. So that's really what matters in the end. So yeah. So the Phillies were able to take the series against the Brewers, which is huge. And now looking at the standings in the MLB, going to it now. I should have already had this open, but I didn't. Phillies now, today they're 83-60, along with their 2 wins against the Marlins, dropping the one today, but they were still able to win the series. They are now 5.5 games. Look, am I right? Yeah, 5.5 games behind the Brewers for first place, which I don't really care if we get first place. I don't really care. But yeah, and they are 4 games ahead of the Dodgers, who had a terrible loss last night. Or not last night, I guess. Saturday night, really. That's just crazy to me. If you didn't see, the Dodgers were no-hitting the Yoshinobu Yamamoto, no-hitting the the Orioles. 8 2/3. He needed one out to get the no-hitter. The Dodgers are winning 3-0. Needed one out to finish the no-hitter. And not only did he not get the no-hitter, he ended up blowing the game. A home run on to end his night, and then the Dodgers bullpen just collapses, and the Orioles ended up walking the Dodgers off. I think it was like the second night in a row they walked them off, which is crazy. So the Dodgers are really just falling further and further from the Phillies now, which is really good. And it does look like right now that the Phillies are almost definitely going to get the second seed in the NL, with Milwaukee on top. Looking at the division, the Phillies are 7 games ahead of the Mets. The Mets are 76 and 67. Phillies again are 83 and 60, which is huge. And that's probably how the season's going to go. Phillies on top, Mets right behind them. So yeah, we'll see what happens with them. But the rest of the NL race is really close. There are 4 teams right now with 72 wins, which I'm noticing right now, which is crazy. But right now, the Mets have the 6th seed, and they are 4 games ahead of Cincinnati, or 4 and a half games ahead of the 4 teams that are under them. So, but it does look like it's going to be Chicago, San Diego, and New York in the NL playoff, or in the NL wild card race. The order might be a little different, but it looks like it's going to be those 3 teams at least. And then an AL is a little bit closer at the bottom there, but yeah, that's we'll see what happens there as well. Okay, so now let's talk about the not really much to talk about the Marlins series. We already talked about the crazy fan experience in Miami. That was it's just so funny how much that blew up online. So funny. That woman's life is like over. She's basically like the Steve Bartman of this era. I feel like she will, it's never gonna end for her. But other than that, Marlins series kind of okay. Although today, not great news from the game, as Trey Turner went down with an injury. So he will be evaluated further tomorrow. The point that this podcast is coming out, information will have already come out about that. But yeah, we will see what happens. So that's the Phillies. But another big talking point is, of course, the Eagles had their first game on Thursday. They opened the NFL season against the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, they're bitter rivals. It was one of the most anticipated games probably of the season. And the Eagles ended up taking it. I actually did not watch this full game that night. I watched the first half of it. I went to bed at halftime, and I woke up the next morning to see that they ended up scoring 3 more points in the rest of the game. I think it was 21-20 when it was halftime. I think they won 24-20, I believe, was the final score, which is insane. I don't know how that happens, but Eagles can pull some crazy stuff off. So yeah, Eagles, but they were able to take the W. They are 1-0, took the NFL opener, and yeah, one of the things I noticed from that game, though, Jalen Hurts was just amazing. You know, he always found a hole in the Dallas defense and was able to sneak his way through. So yeah, super great there. Some great stuff from the offense mostly. Defense was okay. Of course, they lost Jalen Carter, which was a big deal, and that kind of not great. You know what I mean? Not great, but yeah. So that in the end, Eagles won. They were able to finish the job, and that's that. Other football stuff. On Friday, the Chiefs lost, which is insane. They actually lost. in the Sao Paulo game Friday night against the Chargers. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it was 27-21 was the final score. Chiefs could not pull it out, and I feel like it doesn't matter how you look at it. Whereas if the game is rigged, if the refs always rig the game, the Chiefs just always find a way. They always find either the Chiefs always find a way to win, or their opponent always finds a creative way to lose. That's always how it happens. So to see it not happen here, it was pretty cool. So Chiefs, Chiefs are now 0-1 to start the season. So, and yeah, that's that for the Eagles, though. I guess in football, really, that's it. But yeah, Eagles had a big game. Phillies had a big week with winning the Brewer series, winning the Marlins series, and yeah, I mean, less than a month left of the season. There's going to be some. It's going to be a crazy chase to the finish line. So let's go back to the Phillies. This is what the rest of the Phillies season looks like. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday start against the Mets at home, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday they start against the Mets at home, and then the weekend of the 12th they play Kansas City. By the way, crazy scheduling thing here. The Phillies are playing the Kansas City Royals at I think it's 1:30. 1:30 this Sunday the 14th. The Phillies are playing Kansas City at home. 3 hours later at 4 o'clock, the Eagles are playing. I forgot who they're playing, but the Eagles are playing on Sunday at 4:30 at 4 or 4:30, whatever. Which is crazy scheduling stuff. I know that's not really, you can't get around that. It's nice at least they're not at the same time. But I mean, it is going to be crowded down there. It doesn't matter which game you're going to. It is going to be packed. So yeah, I'd get there as soon as possible if you're going to either game, because and really just park near the exits, because it is going to be so crowded leaving the Phillies, because not only are all the Phillies fans leaving, but all of the Eagles fans are coming in. Or at least, I guess most of them. A lot of them probably would have already been there. Most of them probably are from tailgating. But a lot of people are still going to be coming in then. And in the grand scheme of how many people are coming, it's still going to be a lot of people regardless. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough day for traffic, for everything. But hopefully the Phillies and Birds are able to rip out a W. So we'll see what happens there. Rest of the Phillies season, after Kansas City on the 15th through the 17th, they head to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. That'll be big. All three of those games are at 10 o'clock at night, which stinks. I really wish if an East Coast team is playing a West Coast team, I really hope, I wish at least one game was at like 7. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like because the Dodgers are playing the Phillies, I feel like even just one game should be at 7 or 8. I think that would be nice to have one game not at 10 o'clock. I think that would be nice, but no, for some reason I don't know why. And then they have Thursday the 18th off, and then they start a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So that's going to be another. I think it's not a huge series, but it's basically after the Dodgers, the season's pretty easy for the rest of it. So then after the Arizona series, they have the 22nd off, and then they have a 3-game set against Miami at home, the 23rd to the 25th, and then 26th to the 28th. They're playing the Minnesota Twins at home, and that is how the season is going to end. So yeah, they are going to have a pretty easy. The next week or two are going to be a little difficult, and then the next, like the rest of the month is going to be rest of the season is for the most part going to be pretty easy. So yeah, that's how the Phillies are looking to for the rest of the 2025 season. So yeah, that's kind of all I had for my sports stuff. Yeah, we are done very early today. I'm honestly really tired right now, so we're done a few minutes early, but that's fine. Trying to think what else has been going on. I think that's kind of it. Next week I'm heading up to New York. I'm gonna go see The Outsiders there, which is gonna be cool. I'll talk about that a little bit next week. Of course, we'll be talking all about the Nintendo Direct next week. If that happens this week, we'll be talking about it next week. And Hollow Knight, I want to talk about next week. I want to play a lot more of that game. I think that's gonna be super fun. And yeah, last night I was gonna watch something last night. I was gonna watch something like new, because last night was basically the only night this weekend that I could watch something, but I didn't know what to watch. I was at a loss, so I instead just went to YouTube and found a full length video of the Social Network and watched it again. That's one of my favorite movies, and I haven't actually seen it in a while. It's been a little while since I've seen the whole thing. So that's just a great movie. If you've never seen that movie before, that's great. There's actually a second one that's in development right now. It's part 2. So that should be interesting to see. But I mean, the first movie is just such a phenomenal movie. Great script, great acting, and just a really cool story. A lot of cool details in there. Really cool, really great music from Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor. So yeah, I hope he brings some of that great stuff for Tron. That's gonna be really cool seeing Nine Inch Nails in Tron. I will say, by the way, speaking of Tron, it is interesting that they're actually labeling it from Nine Inch Nails for that movie, not just Trent Reznor, which they've done for his like recent movies. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, there's nothing else I'm really thinking about talking about, so I'm just gonna end it honestly. Yeah, next week our next podcast will be on September the 16th. So yeah, thank you all for watching this episode, and I will see, or I guess not really see you, but you will hear me next week. Thank you all for listening, and yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day.